Off back tonight. New month, November 2nd. New month means new sponsor, Little Gallery of Big Messes. Mark's got a show coming up at Bulldog. I believe it's November 14th. Go check out some of his art. There's a lot going on. There's some bands playing. There's some poetry that night. Little Gallery of Big Messes, the sponsor of all of November. Tonight, a band who hasn't been on here before. We've had some repeat guests, but first time, and a new band to me, but probably not a new band to you. Aerocar Model 4. Guys,
Virgins here.
guys, tell me who you are. Tell me about the band. Maybe give me a brief history of the creation and when you started and where you are now.
Well, I'm Dave, singer. Ryan, introduce yourself.
Ryan, guitar player.
Yeah. Started eons ago. We've been playing in the city since '99, honestly. So that dates us. That means we're just freaking old. But yeah, we've been playing forever. Started as in a different incarnation. We've gone through a couple of different group changes other than Ryan and myself. Um, First album was '03. A bunch of touring followed. Sweetest Lie came out '08. A bunch of touring followed, and then the bass player challenge from about what 2012.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, hard rock metal. Um, just love music. Figured we'd be out of it by now, but no. Why get out?
Yeah, absolutely. Um, So yeah, so you've been going for a while. I looked up recently, looked up your Spotify and I'm seeing singles, right? Um, but let's jump to the newest single here. I never knew. Talk to me about this one. This one's fairly new here, so talk me through it. Where did you record this? Tell me about what's going on with this song.
You want to
Well,
start?
yeah. It started with oof, I can't remember the year. It's been a couple of years. For sure, that song's kind of been around for a bit. Uh, I was in my basement one day, and the main riff kind of came to me, and most of the song kind of came very, very fast. Usually, the ones that we like do so. Brought it to Dave, and we started talking about it, and um, immediately kind of started, finishing it, getting it kind of done, and then it was in place, and then we kind of started having some, member changes, and with that, usually, recording takes a little bit longer when you don't have the other guys to finish it off, and with our kind of newest version of the guys, they really like the song, and let's get it done. Things have been kind of changed for us in the recording concept in terms of we used to go to a studio and used to kind of do all that kind of stuff. And now, obviously, with a lot of the technological changes, I'm recording the guitar at home. Um, Dave's singing at home, and we're bouncing things back and forth. And hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And when it came time to get serious about now recording the song and finally putting it out. We tweaked it a little, made a couple little changes that we really liked to it, and tried a few different things just because it kind of sat kind of dormant for a while, um, and then everything kind of came together and got it done, and we wanted to get it released in time for the show, so we kind of moved a bit faster in the mixing and mastering portion than we normally do. We usually take a lot more time in the mixing part because we're a little bit particular with certain things, as most musicians are. And um, yeah, I mean, Dave, you can go through the lyrics for sure, but that's the music part in a nutshell.
Hmm.
Well, not just that. I mean, recording. We have taken it away from studio. Like our studio sessions when we first started, like Matic Studio, which doesn't exist anymore, I don't think. But we've been through so many incarnations. I've spent a shit ton of time in studios, and by this time, and I would say the last handful of songs, we've just kind of changed our whole deal. I've got a decent setup now. I run a nice rig. Ryan's got his stuff at home. So we do a lot of this stuff in house now. It's just simply done in house, not into studio, even drums. So we've been pretty fortunate that way to finally kind of refine ourselves to get the song. Like we thought, I never knew sounds great.
Hmm.
It's one of our probably better sounding songs, and it's now because we refined the non-studio version. We know where we're going and how to do it and what we want to accomplish for sound. The song itself, like Ryan said, we've got so many from because we're so we've been around for so long that we have so many that have just sat on back burner, like ideas that have just kind of percolated, and this one was one of the ones that we've been playing live for a long time. And the funny thing is, it's like, "Weak and Powerless" by Perfect Circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different versions of that. If you go online, they were testing it out live a million times before they actually recorded it. And it's kind of the same thing. We've
Hmm.
got so many versions of this. Like there is live footage of us playing this song, and it's just a tiny bit different. But the funny thing is, I guess this specific show coming up this week on the 7th at the park will be the first time that our entire set is actually fully recorded, which is crazy.
Mm.
So everything we're playing is actually going to be available for download, Spotify, all like everything. So that's good,
Yeah.
neat thing. The song itself lyrically, it's just it's funny. It's about my kids. So that's it. It's about not knowing what I wanted and then getting them. So
Yeah.
that's
Awesome.
yeah. So they were not what I expected, but I wouldn't change a thing at this point. So, and that's lyrically funny because it doesn't sound like a song about kids, or it doesn't at least play like that. It being so riff driven, heavy. But I mean, that's what it is. Sometimes it's lyrically doesn't have to necessarily match what you're doing with for the music. So
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, a great story, just completely off topic, but on same topic. Bon Jovi said that "You're All I Need" from Motley Crue is the greatest love song of all time. But if you listen to it, it's like,
yeah,
no, I'm pretty sure it's about killing his girlfriend or something, right? It's just like, okay, well, lyrically, not what you expect, but yeah, the song sounds huge. I mean, what a world we live in, right? Where you can do all this stuff at your own convenience, really, right? And you're
yeah.
not pressured into that short session in the studio to get it done. And I mean, man, it's this is a great time to be able to record music if you have the right software and just everything you need for it, right?
Well, and
Um,
to be honest, I think I mean the song is always great. We've been lucky to find since the Sweetest Lie, the album in '08, we've been using Ryan Anderson, who's been mixing our material. We have a really good relationship with him. He knows us fairly well, and he's good with our you know anal qualities. So it's good to have somebody that knows you that way, and then on top of that, he's like the consummate pro. So it really helps us get what we want out of it. So you send him the raw track, and he's able to add that extra layer, make it
yeah,
really essentially. So
huge.
yeah,
Um, let's get to the show this weekend. We'll bounce back to some songs, but the big thing this week, November 7th, Park Theater, Seven's End EP release with you and Seventh String.
Yeah.
I mean, no strangers to the show. They've been on here a few times
yeah.
talking music and fantastic group of guys. Let's talk about the show. This sold out show. The Park Theater is sold out. Just saw that. When was that? Thursday.
Yeah.
Thursday it got announced. Yeah, unbelievable. I mean, talk me through how did this show come about?
Yeah. Well, truthfully, Troy from Seven's End, we had played many shows with him and in various bands over the years that we always enjoyed. And he posted a video, their first music video there, and I watched it and I was like, okay, this is pretty good. And not only that, um, Dave mentioning, off air, we are mentioning how in the past we used to have, we'd play with we're too heavy for hard rock and not heavy enough for metal, and we'd always play with different bands that were we kind of felt kind of awkward, and hearing them, I thought, ooh, this is a good fit, um, genre wise, and I reached out to them, said, hey, if you guys are ever looking to play a show, let us know, because I like what you guys are doing. The video looked great, everything sounded great, and it was kind of, I think it would be a good show. And then we were actually looking to book the park, and the park's a little bit harder to book these days because it's quite a popular venue, and a lot of touring acts are coming through there now. So which is great, but it's hard to book. And when we went to book, we couldn't book till April of next year, and we're like, okay, well, I guess maybe we're not playing this year, which is kind of a bummer. And then Jacques from Seven Zen messaged me and said, "Hey, you guys interested in doing a show at the Park Theater? We're doing our EP release. We could do a kind of a dual headliner." And I was like, "Yep, that was perfect." And it's our time. We like doing fall shows. That's the time of year we like to have a show. So just the pieces fell into place great, and the guys have been great to deal with, great to plan with. And the big thing is that a lot of times in the past you book a show with a band, and they kind of show up and play. But I knew these guys were serious about pushing it and making it an event. Something
Hmm.
that we've done in recent years is maybe it's because we're older, but we don't want to go out and play 1,000 shows. We want to try to play a couple a year, and make it an event, and try to make it a great all out show. And it's been tricky finding people to kind of put that all together with, and this not only came together well, but being sold out, we're definitely thrilled and excited.
Yeah, it so many times I think now when we started, and a lot of bands start feel that they've got to, you know, saturate the local market, and I mean, it just it's not Winnipeg's not the place to do that any longer. I don't think where you play every week. What do you're playing to 10 people? Who's different? And it's unlikely that you're going to be noticed that crazy um, by somebody different. So what we try and do is, you know, hit one show a year, maybe two, and like Ryan said, make it an event, make it something that is big. So when you show up, it feels big. There's a lot of energy in the room. There's a lot of everybody can get excited about it rather than just being like, there's nothing wrong with the smaller venues if you push them. But I mean, for a band that's playing, say, the Tap House every 2 weeks, what are they really getting in terms of return on people out there? Yeah, they get the experience, but that's something at this point we don't need the experience playing live. Not that anybody doesn't need to practice. That's not the thing. It's just a matter of we're not we're not doing show after show after show for the experience to play. We're not trying to hone those skills. We've done that. We know what we play. We play our music. We're not trying to play covers or other people's stuff. So we're very confident in what we play already. So it's a matter of make that event huge and
Hmm.
make it memorable for everyone that does show up. We draw decently every time we do play. This one, because of because of everybody involved, every band has pushed it huge, and we're taking our regular numbers to the show, and with the other two bands, it's selling out. So, and that's great.
Yeah, unbelievable. It's such a That's a great thing. Park Theater is just such an elite venue too, with and the biggest floor, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, congrats on a sell. That's amazing.
Yeah.
You talk about experience, and you've done this before, right? You played. Um, Now with a band of this that's been around, as not to age you or anything, but as long as you've been playing, how
Yeah.
do you go about? There's Sevens, and they're chiming in there. Rock stars. How do you go about making a set with the material you have?
Well,
We try and yeah. Well, before you kick off there, I mean, essentially, we've got so much, and we've got new stuff that you try and pepper in. Luckily, we don't have to do that this time, just because the recording aspect. But we try and make it a rocking set, a rocker throughout. You have to try and you got to make a rhythm. So when we practice, it's about rhythm.
Hmm.
Now you
Yeah, in
can talk.
general, kind of flow. And we know that some people that are coming out want to hear, some of the stuff off, Sweetest Lie, probably not our first album, because I don't know if any of those people are still around anymore. We're getting that old, but yeah, I know it's, we kind of try to put together and hone it so it feels great. We typically don't put any ballads in there or anything like that. And kind of, I don't know, we kind of arrange it like if we were going to see a show, to have that energy and that flow. And
Hmm.
sometimes it doesn't always work, and you want to change it up. You want to do the same set, especially if you're only playing, a couple times a year. So we have in the past tested out some, newer material stuff. I Never Knew would be an example of that. And I think the last show we played, we did another one that we didn't put in this set that we're going to probably take back to the drawing board and kind of change it up a little bit. But yeah, it's good to kind of feel it and see how the audience reacts to the songs as well. It's a good test, but you don't want to do too many new ones. But yeah, it's usually how we find out if one of the new ones is good.
Yeah, really rhythm. Yeah, we want to make sure that the crowd is involved the whole time. And I mean, like you go to shows. Shows have an ebb and flow to them, obviously. But I mean, because we play so little, and I mean, it's not like we're doing a 3 hour set or anything like that. We used to do something called the half hour of power, where it was just like balls
Yeah.
to the wall for a half hour, right? And but now, I mean, you're 45 to an hour, and we want to make sure that everybody comes out of there just like the energy is there the whole time. We want to keep energy up. Bruce Dickinson, Iron Maiden, is running around the whole time, and you just see just crazy energy.
Hmm.
That's what we want to try and keep. We want to keep heavy energy. So, and that's how we build the sets. So as long as they flow and song to song feels good into each other, and it has that rhythm, that's how we do it.
Awesome. Uh, I think I usually ask when there's shows coming up. Merch stand. Will you have a merch stand there? What do you got?
We do. Oh, we got some new merch. We're super pumped. Dave got a custom shirt made. That there's only, I believe, 35 available, and I'll let him
No,
tell you about that.
there's 50 of those.
May or may not have my face on it, but it
Yeah.
wasn't my idea. But I thought he was kidding, and then he got the shirts made. I'm like, well, it looks pretty good. So yeah, pretty
Well,
funny.
actually, if you pay attention to the shirt, because you took one home, right?
I did.
Look at the picture. There's a drummer in the corner. There's a singer in the corner, and there's a bass player's hand and the headstock.
Perfect.
Yeah.
The littlest
So,
guy has the most space
yeah.
on the
Well,
picture.
he just we had this picture that Joey sent put together a few years ago from one of the shows at the zoo when the zoo was around, and I just did it as a negative, and I wanted a graphic tee without kind of doing too many colors. I just wanted something that just was like popped in white,
Hmm.
and that's so it just we did it for a couple of the songs, Kits and I Won't Fail, and then I was like, you know what, that would look pretty good as a shirt, and so then I just kind of put it together and we sent it out. Luke, the bass player, also thought we were joking. Really gonna have Ryan's face on a shirt? Yeah, he's ugly, but I mean, like, what are you gonna do? Like,
Yeah, and then we also got some new hoodies and some new long sleeve shirts as well. That doesn't have my face on it. So,
Oh,
that does.
just kind of some old school ones with our symbol on the back and our writing on the sides and stuff. So it's yeah, we got a lot of stuff done ready for the show, which we're pumped about. And yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, we no discs. We're in a single space now. All of our CDs that when they were printed, those are gone. Yeah, so at this point, it's just everything is made available for download. It's all online. Reverb Nation. We're finally getting Aerocar Model4.com back,
hmm.
which you will be able to download off of there. So everything will just be free to download MP3s, and the 14 people that do it will.
Do you
That's by
find,
design.
yeah, do you find that, and no disrespect to bands doing EPs or albums, I mean, amazing, but do you find that's kind of the way it's going, is just doing singles?
Yeah,
100%.
that's what we've chosen to do.
Yeah.
Um, just because getting all the songs kind of done in one big clump and releasing them, it seems like that's just not the way people are built anymore. They don't listen to albums like that anymore. It's all about a single that is out now, and you listen to it, and then, in a little, like, I find even on anytime I listen to the radio, which isn't much these days, but I'll hear a song, and in a year later I'll be like, hey, I didn't mind that one song I heard, and it seems to be gone. Like, it's not even there anymore. There's not much staying power, and I think people's attention span is different now, and it's just, this is the next new one that I like for now, and there'll be another new one tomorrow, or a bunch of them, and so this way we record kind of at our own pace and release at our own pace. And if down the line, I mean, we kind of recently talked about maybe putting some together just to maybe make a vinyl, because that's made a huge comeback, obviously, and
Hmm.
and I think it'd be super cool to just just for myself and Dave, we'd just love to have a vinyl. And I've seen some other bands that have been releasing kind of one at a time, and then at the end of the rainbow have an album release of all those songs, and that makes sense, and you have them all. So it's,
Yeah.
what's the difference? Pressing CDs, I don't
Which
think
is
that's a thing.
3x7s and EP release.
Yeah,
So, I
yeah,
mean,
exactly.
I mean, I think it's a great thing to do. I like to have that compilation of your album or your songs together. If it is written as an album and plays as an album, that's awesome, or an EP. But physical media unfortunately has is gone the way of the dodo in a way.
Hmm.
We touched on this in another interview not too long ago, but like I'm a physical media guy. Um, I like having it. I wouldn't mind having our stuff on that, but the truth is, it's an expense that we put towards recording the next song. Towards doing the production on that, towards the extra merch, towards that kind of stuff, towards the extra stuff that we do. If we want to play live and get an in-ear tech,
Yeah.
those types of things, right? So um, you know, the money is spent elsewhere. I think it's awesome to do an album. It's awesome to do an EP. But I mean, I think singles, especially the way we put out music, it's probably better for us. It also weeds out crap. You know,
Yeah,
you're not
I get
losing
it.
a whole. You're making sure that the song actually has some staying power. We've got a few that are recorded that won't see the light of day. I
That's
mean,
true.
they would have sat on an album, sure, but now it's I listen to them. He might listen to some of them, but it's something that we go, yeah, it's not up to the par we want to
Yeah,
keep. So we want a
Gotcha.
standard, and I mean overall, I don't want to sound. I don't want to sound. It's no disrespect to local as an overall, but I don't want to sound local really. I want to sound like part of the big boys. I want to sound like that, and so that's what we strive for. And I think in doing, putting out everything that we might write, we don't necessarily achieve that. Instead, we spend a lot of time on one song.
Hmm.
So just a different
Yeah,
way.
I get it. Speaking of another song, back in May, I believe it was, A New
Yep.
Day came out. Is there a new one of yours?
That's one that almost didn't see the light of day, as a matter of fact.
Tell
So
me
yeah,
about that one.
it's your passion.
again, yeah, that was one where I kind of brought to the group at the time, and we kind of toyed with it, worked on it. We had it in a set at one point to play live, but we ended up not playing live, and then it kind of got put on the back burner, and it was one for some reason became a passion project because I wasn't even, I was fine if we didn't release it, but I really liked the song. There's something about it that I liked. There was just kind of that mid-tempo, room for big melodies, and I just wanted to see it done. I wanted to see it finished. We probably have a backlog of, I don't know. Me and every time we talk, it seems to get bigger, but I think we have 20, 30, maybe more songs that are just sitting there, and
Yeah,
I'll go
worth putting.
back and
Yeah.
yeah, I'll go back and go, man, like we got to finish this. And that was one of them. It was one of the ones that I was fine if we didn't release. We ended up releasing it because it definitely came out a bit better than we thought it would in the recording process. And yeah, more of a passion project, that one for sure.
It's one that I think it, it lends more to recorded than it does live. So that's another reason. Often we will, if when we're looking at releasing stuff, we want to do it so that it lends to playing live. Because you don't play as often and that kind of thing. So for the case of a new day, it sounded good recorded. Not that it doesn't sound good when we play it, or when we've practiced it. It just because of its kind of mid tempo, it feels like it sludges up the set. Like you have you'd have to add another ballad or something like that behind it to make it make sense.
Hmm.
And we treat live like a story, and if you've got that in the middle of a set to slow it too much down, you don't want anybody leaving. So just because it feels like it's lost momentum. So
Yeah.
so it was it. I love the song. The same thing with Ryan. Again, it was a passion project. It's one that stuck around since the same guys as the Sweetest Lie. So it's been around that long. It's still around 2014, 2015 kind of deal, but um, one of the ones that finally got released. I mean, we've got so many that are sitting on the back burner that we've got a few that we did My Suicide Note, which was actually on our original album. We went back. I took the files and Steve Rumpley mixed it. It was kind of just again passion project, make it sound a little bit better. And that one was a single, but it was actually from our first album. We have a few of those that we might revisit eventually, just to kind of refresh. And that's honestly, it's more for Ryan and I to just be happy about our own stuff. You know.
Hmm.
Yeah, if it's not completed, if it's not finished, I almost get anxiety over it. Like it just, like it's like when you don't get a job done, and so it's very important that and we're balancing that right now with new songs as well. I know we're talking about a lot of old, but we have a lot of new ideas. We have a slew of new ones. So I think, the last time we all had a conversation about it is we're going to kind of do a little rotation, have some of the new ones, then go back and finish an old one that we, all agree on, and then kind of keep kind of bouncing back and forth. So that's the idea. We got, we're still always writing music as well. So it's just that it's like, okay, is this better than the other one, or how do we want to do this? And sometimes too many ideas is a bad thing. And that's kind of what we're sitting on, because there's so many. And we'll start on something, and terrible ADHD, and we'll go, oh, and here's another one. Oh, let's start working on this one. Oh, but this riff, I came up with this riff, I think it'll be an epic song. And yeah, it's put us in a position
You don't
where
stop writing. That's it.
yeah, yeah, you
You're
don't stop. Yeah.
constantly. The ideas are turning. I've got on my phone, and then I've got a little hand recorder, and so like I've got a million ideas, and he's got a million ideas, and it's just they don't stop. And I mean that's the neat thing.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, and really, a song to Ryan or myself that is old is not old to any I never knew is not it's not new to us, but I mean it's new to the world. And funny about back to that song specifically, when in doing it, you get passionate about a song a certain way, and we play it live and be so excited about it, and then when you go to record it, you're like, oh no, man, we should change this because it's been sitting for too long. And you're like, oh no, we got to
Yeah.
change this part, and it's like we've had to stop ourselves from kind of going back and going, we got to fundamentally change this one, or we got to change this one, because just because you lose the excitement of it, down the line, doesn't mean it wasn't there, and you can still recapture that. Like I never knew is one of those too. There's ideas in there that are, I didn't want to give up the chorus. We had a few guys that were like, we got to change the chorus, and it's like, no, you just, it was there. We were excited about it. You're bored with it now because we've been practicing it for this long. All
Mm-hmm.
right, let's just finish the idea. Once it's recorded, it'll be what it's supposed to be. And of course, okay, that's good. And sometimes you come up with another idea and you're like, we should do this, and you're like, no, it's just another song. It's a totally new song.
Oh, that happens. Yeah, yeah, that happens. That's a good idea for a different song. So let's
Yeah.
finish this one and then let's bounce to that one. Yeah,
Yeah,
it gets
yeah, and
messy
that's
for
that's
sure.
going to finishing it, right? That you have to actually get it done to see it through. Otherwise, sometimes it's just like trying to change stuff for the sake of change, for the sake of change. It's not always good, right?
Yeah.
Um,
And
but
I
we,
always believe that you know, a good song is a good song no matter when it gets released.
Mm-hmm.
And that's an example of that, is that okay, it is good, and you release it today, you release it in a year. A good song is a good song, and if you love it and you like it, you're proud of it, it's awesome. And with coming up with all these ideas all the time, that's kind of what lets us know that we have to keep doing this and keep
oh yeah, for sure.
recording and uh keep the dream alive, because it's ingrained in you, where you just one of the best things I ever did was I had a room for my little beat laboratory, I call it. And it was in the basement, and I had to go out of my way to go down there. And during the early 20 2020s there, I brought it upstairs, and it was the best thing I ever did. I put it in the center of my living room and unapologetic about it, and I could pick up my guitar out of
Oh
nowhere and
yeah, yeah.
come up with stuff.
No
And
arguments
it's
happen over that at all.
yeah. No, but it's great, because now it's, before it was like an inconvenience to kind of go downstairs and rush and try to get an idea out. Now it's
Mm-hmm.
just, I can stub my toe and hit the guitar a funny way and go, oh, that's an idea, and I pick it up, and next thing you know it, I'm locked in the beat laboratory, and we have a new song, hopefully.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that's pretty neat.
Um, what else you guys got coming up? You got another thing coming up. Should we talk about it? The video you're doing? Can we
Yeah,
talk? Can
so
we talk about it?
we can talk about it. So yeah, we're looking to do a video for I Never Knew. We actually were trying to hope that we could get the video done before the song, but it just didn't kind of work out with scheduling. And so we ended up releasing the song anyways, just because we wanted to get it out there and
Mm-hmm.
kind of build momentum for
For
the
the
show.
show, really.
Yeah, for the show. Otherwise, we would have definitely just held off and waited till we got the video. So we're gonna start recording kind of later this month, and we're still kind of thinking about concept and location, all that. And it's been a while since we've done a video, so we're pumped, and using Trav obviously. And you know uh we've had Seven's End on here, so I think he's doing everybody's videos currently. He's really, really busy at the Manitoba Loud Music Awards. He kind of swept up there, and yeah, it feels like he's releasing a video every week. It's madness. And they're getting better and better, and they're definitely getting some great attention, got our attention. And Seven's End obviously has done a pile with him, and their newest one just, not only does their music sound great, but the video is awesome, and they came up with a great concept, and put a lot of work into it, and it shows. And yeah, I mean, it's impressive. And
Yeah.
it's great that we have someone who's you know putting passion and into the local scene in terms of videos, because that's a tricky thing to kind of dive into and um, get done. And in the past, we've kind of tried a couple different things, but you hear stories about bands spending tens of thousands of dollars on a music video, and it's not even that great. And now, with the technology, and what even your phone can do, it seems like you just need someone who knows what they're doing and has some creativity and passion, and you can make something that's pretty awesome.
On that we've had our past videos. We've been lucky. We've got a really good friend, Vince Krochak, who's helped us kind of put together some of the stuff. He's hasn't been able to do as much in the way of video stuff over the last couple of years. But still good friends with him. He's helped us in the past do a lot of stuff. He's come out to shows and do videos, and we got tons of live footage and stuff. And now it's with Trav doing all the stuff for Seven's End and Seven String and the 747 show here.
Yeah.
Um, it's neat to have the opportunity to work with someone else as well.
Mhm.
Get some different ideas, different perspectives, and so I mean we're excited about doing the video. It's kind of neat to have the visual along with the music. Especially we obsess a lot about the sound and sonically. So it'll be neat to focus a little bit differently. And with Trav, I mean, he's there to shoot and everything, but we've got to get concept and everything set up for him for storyboards and everything. So it's forced us to look at the process a bit differently than we typically would.
Mhm.
Um, and maybe be a little bit more forward thinking when it comes to newer material that might be coming up, and if we want to do some other videos as well. I mean, we've already talked to him about stuff that we might be coming up as well. We're anticipating it's going to be, a beautiful video. So, regardless of, what the content of it is. So, we've talked to him about extra stuff, and so I think it's just forcing us to change the way we think on the next bunch next
Yeah,
bunch of
for
songs.
sure.
Maybe look at concept ahead and maybe tie them. I don't think I never knew. We've talked about the concept of it, and the song is about kids, my kids, kind of deal. But that's not what we're gonna do for a video. There's no way.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it'll be one of those ones that's off topic essentially uh, from what the video is and the song material itself.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
it's exciting.
Yeah, I mean he's probably one of the most wanted men in the music scene right now. I mean he's busy.
He's a great guy. He's like
A
not. I
great
mean,
guy.
not. He's a great
Great
man.
guy.
He's a great guy. But no, he
He's
is a great guy. Like so, I mean, we met him at the Loud Awards. For the first time. Ryan had talked to him ahead, but actually physically meeting him, we got him
mhm.
on his award-winning best night. And so had a good sit down with him, talk and that kind of stuff, and he's pumped. So when you are working with somebody that is as excited about your music,
Mhm.
it makes it even cooler. So it gets you a little butterfly, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah, I had a good laugh at him at the Loud Awards. As the night went on, I felt he just had to walk everyone up onto the stage, but you know, as the night went, Spectre was winning theirs. Paradise on Fire was they had won theirs. Just the bands that had been winning, besides just a couple of them, he's had workings with them in one way or another. I mean, Paradise on Fire just shot a video with them. Spectre shot a video with them. I mean, for me, I was hoping he was going to come up with me on one of mine, but he did pictures for my Summerfest last year, right? So he shot
Yeah,
nine bands all day. I mean, the guy was there all day shooting bands. I mean, yeah, he's got his hands in with so many people and just a well respected person, a great person. So he's
for
supposed to
sure.
come on the show here, but he's so freaking busy. So
Yeah, it'll happen. Yeah,
yeah,
it'll
we'll get him
happen.
eventually. So
Yeah. I
um,
mean, good Sunday night.
yeah, exactly. One thing I wanted to ask you, this is a great question that comes up a lot on here, and I always find it interesting when you listen to the band's music and then you ask them because sometimes you don't get what you expect. Who are some of your influences in your writing styles?
Hmm.
You can start with that one there, Dave.
Um, it. I mean, really, what got me into playing music. I know it was a theme for a lot of the first iteration of this band was Ozzy, like big time. I remember specifically sitting in my car. I was picking up my mom from work, sitting in my car at 92 City FM. And again, this is dates you to this, the time. But I'm 15 years old. Just got my license. I'm sitting in there and I hear uh, Perry Mason,
Oh
and
yeah.
I'm like, what is this? And it just like it blew my mind. And then after that, I go talk to my uncle, and who's like, got all the old records and stuff like that. And he's like, oh, you like that? And then he shows me Blizzard of Oz, and I hear like the riff to Crazy Train, and I'm like, what the wow. And after I hear that, I you go into Diary of a Madman, and I'm like, holy shit. And then it just kept happening with Ozzy. And then after Ozzy, for me, it was Judas Priest. I'm a huge fan of a lot of their stuff, but there are certain albums I really don't like. But I'm a huge Priest fan. Obviously, Maiden's a big thing too. I love A Perfect Circle for sound.
Mhm.
Um, like A Perfect Circle sonically, when I heard Mer de Gnome, that was another one that was just crazy. Ramstein I love them. I remember laughing about hearing them the first time. Again, Lost Highway soundtrack, and we're a bunch of young kids, and listening to it, just going, "What the hell are they singing? What are they?" And just kind of laughing that it was gibberish. Listening because it was gibberish, and then going, "This is great."
Mhm.
And I guess the surprising one for me is Jimmy Eat World.
Oh, there you go. There it
Yeah,
is.
I,
That's the
I
one.
like I love Jimmy Eat World. There's something about that bubblegum pop, almost punky
Yeah.
college rock stuff. Love it. Yeah, for
Yeah.
them, at least them.
That's awesome. That's Ryan, we'll get to yours here, but that's the thing, right? You can go from Ozzy to Priest to Jimmy Eat World. I love hearing people's influences and what got them into it. I love also the fact that you mentioned Perry Mason because that whole album is absolutely solid and
My favorite album. My favorite
Yeah.
Ozzy album.
unbelievable album.
Yeah. I mean, R.I.P. Right? But he's my biggest influence for sure. I mean, you can go along with there's a billion different things. Like, October Rust was an amazing album for me, and I also love stuff like Elton John. I like stuff that has just it's pure melody. Melody is the big driver. If it has a great
Yeah.
melody to me, I want to listen to it. Right. So I mean, I can listen to The Weekend. Like
Yeah.
he's got some awesome hooks, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, really hooky stuff. Ryan's, I know, the same in the hooky stuff. That's
Yeah, it's about melody for me as well. I mean, that's always been a thing. When I was younger, you know, I I kind of picked up guitar a little bit later on, but I was listening to kind of everything. Everything from, I guess, techno at the time to, some rap. And then I kind of started kind of getting into guitar a little bit because there's definitely a seed planted when I was younger, and I got into Nirvana very heavily, and
Hmm.
that stuff was a great starting point for guitar because it was quite easy and simple, and I liked that a lot. And then I remember I was babysitting, trying to make some money as a young kid, and the Metallica Black album was in the CD player at the place I was babysitting, and I just put it on because I was intrigued by the cover, which isn't really much, but I kind of heard of what they were, and that was my first taste was the Black Album, and sonically that album obviously is one of the best ones ever, and that's when I started hearing guitar solos,
Ah.
and that's where I was like, oh, well, that's interesting. I was playing all this Nirvana stuff, thinking it was cool, and I was deep in it for sure. But then that kind of started giving me the itch, and I kind of started setting a new goal, and that kind of goal was to be able to write and make an awesome guitar solo. And then that's when you start going down the rabbit hole there. That's when you start going into um, Ozzy. And
Yeah.
that Osmosis album is, just like Dave, I think it's one of the best albums ever, sonically and just awesome. And then you go down that rabbit hole, and then you get into Pantera. I mean, Dimebag is, to me, definitely a god in that world too. Um, and then yeah, I kind of started following that. And for me, if I'm talking about guilty pleasures, I'm a sucker for like Roxette and guy girls singing together for some reason in a rock format. Bon Jovi also is a guilty
He's
pleasure of
almost
mine.
like a guy.
Yeah, yeah. uh,
Oh,
that's
it's
good.
great.
Um, yeah, I mean, because the pop stuff, it's that melody, and usually that kind of stuff will have some, cool, tasty guitar solos in it too, and so it's kind of a complete package. And those are the guilty pleasures there for sure. But yeah, I'm just like Dave. Like some of the pop stuff, if it catches me, I'm like, yeah, it's pretty good. The melody gets me. So yeah, in the end of the
That's
day, it's
awesome.
definitely that.
Yeah, pure melody, man. Because I mean, like, there's so many things. It's funny because I saw Ozzy in '96 on that Osmosis tour in Winnipeg at the arena with my buddy Pete, who's the original drummer, and we saw him there with Filter, and that's the Hey Man, Nice Shot era.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought they were at that time. I didn't understand. Again, I'm just kind of getting into my musical tastes at that point, and I saw them, and I was like, this is not very good. And then, like later on, we were hitting studio, and Amalgamate came out,
Oh
uh,
yeah.
one, and I
Another
was
great
like,
album.
Mm-hmm.
shit, like just just so good. Sonically heavy. You crank your stereo, and it's just like tons of bass to it, tons just guitar heavy. The songs do have a nice catch to it, do have have lots of dynamic to it. That's
Mm-hmm.
how we like to be. I mean, I think that's how we are. We're very much us. I don't think you can say that we are like anybody else specifically, but sonically, we always try and be as big and as epic as possible, and that's always a goal. Big, epic feel to it.
And
So
variety. Like we try
variety.
not to write the same song over and over, because that could definitely be something that happens.
Yeah.
Sometimes, right, where every song starts to kind of sound the same, and we definitely you know pride ourselves on the fact that we take different approaches with different riffs and stuff like that, and have been able to kind of have a different kind of variety when you're listening to it, and it's still driving but in a different way, and yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah,
I mean,
spice of life.
you named Osmosis, the amalgamate. The amalgamate has what's my favorite song? I was a big Filter fan. The only way is the wrong way.
Um, yeah, you walk
Like the
away is my
four.
favorite one.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
you
that's
walk
a good
away.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and
recently saw them in Winnipeg, and I'm pretty sure they opened with "You Walk Away."
yeah, oh, yeah.
yeah, they did.
Yeah,
They did. I was at
yeah,
that show. Yeah, they were opening
with Bush.
for
Yeah,
Bush. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. I
yeah.
was there for it.
Unbelievable. They were probably one of my favorite bands in my later years of school. I would say. Title of Record was
Yeah, title's good.
another
That's
album.
great. Yeah,
Yeah.
Great
absolutely.
album. I mean, yeah, a great band. I don't think they got the credit they needed. They just released a cover of a Billie Eilish song apparently.
Really? No, I
Yeah,
didn't
they
know that
did.
story.
Yeah, they did. Bad Guy. Ah,
Interesting.
might
Interesting.
have to check it out. It doesn't sound like Billie Eilish, and I actually didn't even think it was her song. And then I was told after, and I was like, okay, well, doesn't sound like her at all. But anyway,
Well,
Uh,
that's definitely something. But I mean, that was a big. That just goes to show you where you're at now. I mean, like Billie Eilish, bigger than Filter, worldwide,
yeah,
easily. Um, Maybe a little sad, but it's funny that they'd be covering something like that. Still neat. I mean, good music is good music. So
exactly right.
I don't think it matters the genre. I don't matter. I don't think that has ever really mattered to me. Like I'm not one of those guys that sticks strictly to like metal or hard rock or anything like that.
Yeah,
It's anywhere. If it's a good song, it's a good song. When we write it, if we feel it's a good song, it's a good song. If you listen to it, you want to listen to it again. It's so good music stands the test of time. I think unfortunately some of the new stuff that does come out um, is not going to do that. Stuff
Yeah.
tends to flow together too much.
Yep.
Ryan touched on that earlier with the disposability of singles.
Yep.
Yeah.
But like it's you don't quite have the stuff that's going to stand the test of time coming out because everything is sounding so similar. There's so many groups that, and that's all. I guess there's always that in every era of music, but I mean, especially now, I think it's just with the accessibility and technology of it, it's easy to sound like, oh, we liked this song by Shinedown, so we want to sound like that. It's easy to sound like that, right? To just emulate it. And so I think there's a little bit of artistry that's being lost in that front. But
Mm-hmm.
there's still good music coming out.
Not to mention
Absolutely.
the AI piece starting to come in too. So be
Yeah.
Oh
interesting how
yeah.
that. And that's a whole other podcast, but
That's
or a
a
thousand.
that's a whole other show.
But I mean, I think that's
Unreal.
where you can say, hey, you know, can you help me write a song that sounds like? And next thing you know, it you got a song that sounds like, and then you got the software to make it sound like, and next thing you know it, you're there.
Scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's there's a billion things that are scary about that, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
Maybe music part of it isn't our biggest focus, but
yeah, I mean,
We could date ourselves on Terminator 2 as well, I guess.
yeah. That's
funny
exact.
on that. A New Day has some inspiration from Terminator 2, doesn't it?
Yeah,
There
it
we
does.
go.
Yeah.
That's
Right
Yeah.
on, guys. I mean, great chat with you guys tonight. The show, November 7th, Park Theater, sold out. You can't
yeah.
even get tickets for it. So if you don't have tickets, uh, you're not going. It's unbelievable. Congrats on the sellout. Seven's End EP release. Aerocar Model 4, of course, with us tonight. Seventh String. Our brothers in Seventh String. No strangers to the show here. They've been, I mean, Caitlin was just on like last week, I think, or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Um, Unbelievable. It's going to be a great show. Thanks for jumping on tonight, guys. Really looking to hearing more about hear more songs that come out eventually. And good luck with Trav this month shooting the video. Can't wait to see that. That's going to be amazing.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
having us. Thanks for taking the
Right
time.
on. Have a great show this weekend, and we'll catch up with you later.
Yeah, see you guys on the 7th.